Good morning, Sainers, and welcome to the Round 6 Saints TV preview. Carlton, they're next up. We've just faced Collingwood, and now we've got Carlton in an absolute blockbuster, a sellout. It is first versus fourth, both coming off a loss. Both coming off different types of losses. Carlton faced Adelaide. They've been undefeated by that point. And Adelaide have been flying, and they got done by about 50 points or so in front of a big crowd at Adelaide Oval on the Thursday night, the first game of Gather Round, and obviously we played the last game of Gather Round, so funny how they just tee us up as the next next game the next week. We played Collingwood and went down by 6 points in a fairly gallant display. Collingwood probably deservedly the winners, but we did not lose any supporters after that performance, and proof is in the pudding. I didn't get any DMs from any Magpies fans. I didn't get any DMs saying, haha, Saints are shit again and all this. So that says something that we lost, but no one was hitting up Saints TV. So that felt good. But it's a new week and Carlton want to be bouncing back. We all know that they've got a lot of talent on the park. They've got a lot of talent, particularly up forward and in the midfield. Those are the two areas that have always worried teams when they face Carlton. You know, Curnow, Mackay, two common medalists, two very, very good forwards. Then they've got the Brownlow medalist in the middle of the ground, and then they've got an All-Australian fullback. So they've got the key sort of pillars across the ground that can really dominate games. I think the style of football that we play is going to be a challenge for Carlton, but at the same time, like I said, they've got Curnow and Mackay up forward, and they're going to be a big, big problem for our backline. But again, our backline is ranked number 1 in the AFL. We are 12 goals better off than any other team. We're not, one of the best backlines in the league, which is what a lot of people say. We are the best backline in the competition by some distance. So Carlton, surprisingly, they're ranked, I think, 13th or 14th for points for per game, which is a big surprise to me because they've got very, very key focuses going forward. They're the biggest targets in the AFL. So I thought easy there, top 6 in points for. I think if we can pressure the ball enough in the middle of the ground that when it comes into the D50 for us, it's not a clean possession. It's a bomb. It's one of those hacked forward sort of scenarios where they're just kicking in long, not really aiming. We can get a lot of numbers to the ball in the air and crowd Curnow and Mackay, because if they have that sort of run and jump one-on-one, they're very difficult to stop. But if we can make it so that they're always got a man really pressing up against them one-on-one, or even with a second or third coming up and spoiling over the top, I think that's where the game's on our terms, and we can get them on the outside, because they're losing Saad. He's not playing on the weekend. He's out for 1 to 2 weeks, which is disappointing for them. And I thought already that we had a bit more on the outside in terms of, pace with Burns, with Wood, with Hill, with Naz, with Sinks. To me, there's more outlets there. I think if the game is contested, I think that suits Carlton a bit more. If the game's on the outside and end to end, I think that suits us a bit more. So last week we played Collingwood. It was a battle of similar styles, different execution. Similar styles, different execution. In this one, it's really different styles. Two teams that play very different football. We play the outside game. We want to be aggressive, although still be quite safe and use the boundary. Carlton want to get the clearance every single time and just bomb it in long to their two talls. And even talking to Terry the other day, he said, they're pretty reliant on those two to kick a lot of goals, because they're the stars of the competition. They're the stars of that team. That makes sense, but at the same time, I think we can get them by being, really strategic in going forward and doing the opposite, really lowering our eyes and hitting targets and having, I guess, a broader range of goal kickers, because that's how we've done it all year. We haven't had a player other than Higo kick a bag, I don't think, in the 5. But, most weeks we're getting 4 players kicking 2 each, and then, another 4 players chipping in for one goal or so. So if we get to that, 8, 9, 10 goal kicker sort of number for this game, we're well in this game and a big chance of winning it. But by no means, Sainers, am I going into this confident. I've gone into most games comfortable And I still feel the same way in this game, particularly because we are getting Jack Steele and we are getting Tim Membry back. So, Membry's not really an absolute lock, but Jack Steele's going to be named. And it's perfect timing for us. We've timed that run very nicely where we've gone the first 5 weeks. We've almost pinched all the games. We've gone 4-1. We're top of the ladder. And this is the point now where we start getting troops back. And we're getting some pretty good troops in this game because they're two players that love playing Carlton. Steele, he'll go to Cripps, I reckon, and just go head-to-head, and that'll be a great contest because they're both brilliant players to watch. And then you got Membry, who every time he plays Carlton, he's kicking 3 or 4. I think over his career, he's averaging well over 2 to 3 goals per game against Carlton. And that it's good when these players are coming back, when on the Carlton channels, they're saying, oh, great, perfect timing. Of course, Jack Steele and Tim Membry are free for this game. Usually it's us saying, oh, of course this player's back, But it's good to see that other teams are a bit worried about the Saners. It's still, to me, a very 50-50 type game, just because Carlton really need to bounce back. Their performance last week was really disappointing. A lot of their fans would have flown over to Adelaide for the gather round, and for them to dish up that pretty much from go to woe, they weren't in the game. And I think we'll take a little bit of confidence in that, knowing that Adelaide played a very similar style to the way we play. They played very, very fast but controlled and put the ball into very dangerous positions in the Carlton defence, and that exploited them. The midfield battle, we always know how it is with Carlton. They've got Walsh back. He's a gun. He's a superstar of the competition. I think for Walsh, we'll just kind of let him do his thing and we'll focus on our thing, and unless it gets out of control. Cripps would go head-to-head. I wouldn't say it's a straight tag. And then you got Pitnet. I think he's up for the game. He was a chance of missing, but he's playing. And Rowan Marshall will go head-to-head with him, and I'd back Rowe there. And then, it's just a matter of, what sort of form these two teams deliver on the day. If Carlton play their best and we play our best, it's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be an amazing game to watch. If one of these two teams comes and thinks it's just going to be easier than it is, I think they're going to be in for a rude awakening. And at the moment, we haven't shown many signs of dropping off. I don't even think the Collingwood loss showed signs of dropping off. I think there were just lapses in concentration and maybe more execution-based stuff. We kicked 3 goals, 6 in the last quarter, so it could have been different. It wasn't. But I think our form in that game is a lot better than what people think. So going into this, I think we are the favourites, deservedly so, but very, very wary of a wounded Carlton. They're dangerous at any time. I'm always stressed playing Carlton because to me, they're like us. You don't know what type of Carlton are going to turn up. And if you get them on a good day, you're okay. And if you get them on a bad day for your team and they're playing good footy, you're in trouble. So for me, it's one of those games where if we play the way we've been playing all year, I'm pretty comfortable that we'll be in a position to win. I don't know if it'll be enough, but I'm comfortable that we'll be well in the game. That's all that matters. And yeah, it's going to be a big one. I'm lucky enough that I can go and snag tickets. So sorry to the Saners that they couldn't, because I know it's been really difficult to get tickets, being an absolute sellout. So hopefully we're going to get upwards of 50,000, which would be unreal on a Sunday 3:20 slot. And it's, again, another good experience for some of these young boys to play in front of a big crowd. They've played in front of a couple now. They've got, the 150th anniversary game, 70,000 there. And then last week was a sellout at Adelaide Oval. And now we've got another sellout at Marvel Stadium. I'm not going into this super confident. I'm just trusting what we're doing. Yeah, I hope we get into their face. I hope stock is up for it. It's a bit of a shame that Caminiti can't go up against Wiedering with their history. But I think nonetheless, it's going to be a great game. Looking forward to it. And I'm backing the boys to get the 4 points again. So that's it from me, Saners. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you after the game on Sunday. Hopefully for another win. But until then, Saners, take care. And as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.